The Starry Night. The Starry Night is an oil-on-canvas painting by the Dutch post-impressionist painter Vincent van Gogh, painted in June 1889. It depicts the view from the east-facing window of his asylum room at Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, just before sunrise, with the addition of an imaginary village. It has been in the permanent collection of the Museum of Modern Art in New York City since 1941, acquired through the Lily P. Bliss bequest. Widely regarded as Van Gogh's magnum opus. The Starry Night is one of the most recognizable paintings in Western art. During the year Van Gogh stayed at the asylum in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, the prolific output of paintings he had begun in Arles continued. During this period, he produced some of the best-known works of his career, including the Irises from May 1889, now in the J. Paul Getty Museum, and the Blue Self-Portrait from September 1889, in the Musée d'Orsay. The Starry Night was painted mid-June. By around June 18th, the date he wrote to his brother Theo to say he had a new study of a starry sky. Although the Starry Night was painted during the day in Van Gogh's ground-floor studio, it would be inaccurate to state that the picture was painted from memory. The view has been identified as the one from his bedroom window, facing east, a view which Van Gogh painted variations of no fewer than 21 times, citation needed, including the Starry Night. Through the iron-barred window, he wrote to his brother, Theo, around May 23, 1889, "I can see an enclosed square of wheat, above which, in the morning, I watch the sun rise in all its glory." Van Gogh depicted the view at different times of the day and under various weather conditions, such as the sunrise, moonrise, sunshine-filled days, overcast days, windy days, and one day with rain. While the hospital staff did not allow Van Gogh to paint in his bedroom, he was able there to make sketches in ink or charcoal on paper. Eventually, he would base newer variations on previous versions. The pictorial element uniting all of these paintings is the diagonal line coming in from the right depicting the low rolling hills of the Alpes Hills Mountains. In 15 of the 21 versions, cypress trees are visible beyond the far wall enclosing the wheat field. Van Gogh exaggerated their size in 6 of these paintings, most notably in F717 wheat field with cypresses and the Starry Night, bringing the trees closer to the picture plane. One of the first paintings of the view was F611 mountainous landscape behind Saint-Rémy, now in Copenhagen. Van Gogh made several sketches for the painting, of which F1547 the enclosed wheat field after a storm is typical. It is unclear whether the painting was made in his studio or outside. In his June 9th letter describing it, he mentions he had been working outside for a few days. Van Gogh described the second of the 2 landscapes he mentions he was working on, in a letter to his sister Will on June 16, 1889. This is F719 green wheat field with cypress, now in Prague, and the first painting at the asylum he painted en plein air. F1548 wheat field, Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, now in New York, is a study for it. 2 days later, Vincent wrote to Theo stating that he had painted a starry sky. The Starry Night is the only nocturne in the series of views from his bedroom window. In early June, Vincent wrote to Theo, "This morning I saw the countryside from my window a long time before sunrise with nothing but the morning star, which looked very big." Researchers have determined that Venus, sometimes referred to as the morning star, was indeed visible at dawn in Provence in the spring of 1889, and was at that time nearly as bright as possible. So the brightest star in the painting, just to the viewer's right of the cypress tree, is Venus. The moon is stylized, as astronomical records indicate that it was waning gibbous at the time Van Gogh painted the picture, and even if the phase of the moon had been its waning crescent at the time, Van Gogh's moon would not have been astronomically correct. For other interpretations of the moon, see below. The one pictorial element that was not visible from Van Gogh's cell is the village, which is based on a sketch, F1541V, made from a hillside above the village of Saint-Rémy. Picvance thought F1541V was done later, and the steeple more Dutch than Provençal, a conflation of several Van Gogh had painted and drawn in his Noonan period, and thus the first of his Reminiscences of the North he was to paint and draw early the following year. Holsker thought a landscape on the reverse, F1541R, was also a study for the painting.